Mr. D's World!
Good morning, high school students. Happy Monday morning to all of you. Welcome to Mr. D's World. I'm excited to come to you this morning from one of the great cities of the world, London, England. I've been enjoying the sunshine here in London and visiting the various sites around the city. And you'll notice that currently I'm in front of one of the iconic landmarks known as Big Ben. Let me tell you a little bit about it. The tower itself is actually not named Big Ben. The actual name is the Elizabeth Tower. And it was named that a couple of years ago in honor of the current Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II. The name Big Ben comes from the bell that's at the top of the tower. The tower and the bell were built in 1859. And let me put that in context for you. That would have been just a couple of years before the US Civil War. So Big Ben has been around for many years and has seen many things, including 2 world wars. So how did Big Ben get its name? Well, there's a couple of theories on this. One is that it was named after Sir Benjamin Hall, who helped with the installation of the bell. Another theory is that there was a boxer, an English heavyweight boxer in the time, named Benjamin Count, and his nickname was Big Ben. Now there's a third and much less likely theory that it was named after a certain football player. Thinking about Big Ben, I've been thinking about time. Certainly for all of us, our sense of rhythm and just the routines of life have changed. This past Friday night at supper time, one of my kids said, "It's the weekend." That's a pretty typical thing for us to say on Friday night at supper as we celebrate the upcoming weekend and the change of routine that brings. And someone else in my family said, "Well, the weekend is just going to be like every other day this week, as we're going to be home." And we recognize that our rhythms and our routines and our sense of time are different these days. I want to encourage you to be mindful as you think about how to use the time that you have. For many of us, we have more unstructured time than we typically have. Maybe use this opportunity to learn a new skill or to do a project around the house or to find ways to be helpful. And most importantly, make sure you're using time to spend time with God. One of the things that I'd like 9th and 10th graders to do in Bible class this week is I'd like you to read through the first 5 chapters of the Gospel of John. And that's your Bible assignment for this week. And I'd love if 11th and 12th graders would join us in this as well. But what I'd like you to look for as you read through this is look for the miracles that Jesus performs. In John picks 7 miracles of Jesus to tell us about. And these are known as the 7 signs in John. And as you read through these first 5 chapters this week, you're going to read about 3 of those miracles. And I want you to think about why was it that John chose to include these particular miracles? Why did God inspire John to make sure that these miracles are recorded in his book? Last week I had you do a little reflecting on the signs in John. It was one of the questions that was on the worksheet that I gave 9th and 10th grade last week in Bible class. And I want you to think about, as you think about why these miracles were selected, remember this verse that you looked up last week from John chapter 20, verse 30. It says, "Jesus performed many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not recorded in this book." So as you read through this and you read about these different miracles, why was it that these miracles in particular were selected to be included? Think about that as you read through those first 5 chapters this week. All right, so it's confession time on Mr. D's World. And this is a true story, by the way. As I was preparing for this episode, I was thinking that it would be really cool for me to do this with a British accent. And unfortunately, I'm not able to do a very good British accent, So I went searching in the computer to see if I could find some sort of way that I could record my voice and have it change into a British accent. And so I was searching a little bit, and I came across something called the Britishalyzer, and it looked to be just what I was looking for. It was a plug-in that you can use, and you can record your voice, put it in there, and it will change it into that of a British accent. And there's a YouTube video that described it and everything. And you'll see on the screen here, at the bottom, there was a link to click to download the Britishalyzer. And so I was so excited, I couldn't wait to download this and to try it. And I clicked on the link, and this is what I saw. It's not real. It's an April Fool's joke. And I completely bought it. I completely thought that it was real, and I clicked on it and was slightly embarrassed that I fell for it, but it was an April Fool's joke. So there is no Britishalyzer, and so you're stuck with me and my normal voice. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. That's all for Mr. D's World for today. Remember your assignment for this week, 9th and 10th grade students, and I encourage all high school students to do this, but to read through John chapters 1 through 5, and be looking for why do you think Jesus performed these miracles, and why were these miracles in particular recorded for us in the book of John. All right, I'm off now to my tea time. No, not that tea time. Oh, that's better.
Your tea, sir.
I'd like to thank my videographer, Katie, and my editor, Kyle.